Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Back with another episode of the discussion. I am CJ Dub, the bad guy.
And I am E. Dale. Stuck in between if I'm the good guy.
Oh, you the bad guy.
You had a cold after me the other day. I got a timeline flooded up.
I think we need to switch those monikers up because you definitely are the recipient of a lot of hate these days.
Hey,
more so than me.
And I hate that. I hate that feeling because I know it, and I've heard a few sentiments. But look, it's all love, man. The discussion is the discussion.
And the thing is, bro, this is what I noticed, man. When I'm going back and watching things and how things are unfolding, I've noticed that you actually fight hard for people to be against you.
I don't.
You throw these titles out here. Will somebody get CJ? You know, there was an episode last week where I brought Sean on the live cougar, aka the mature woman.
Okay.
Sister Sean.
Okay.
And I watched how you try to get them to, like, you were sitting there like, I know you not going against the grain. I know you got a statue. You're edging on somebody's ability to get at me. And it didn't work.
But you know why, though?
Why do you do that, sir?
Because sometimes you're a bit much, man, and I can't even handle you, and I just need help. Listen, it's okay to admit that you need help some days. Some days I need help getting at this guy, man. I just need somebody to say they on my team. Look, you even got my sister part of your coat.
But I don't have a coat.
My sister is a part of your coat. My sister always said you're right, and I don't understand that.
This is the thing, brother.
I don't understand
This is the thing. Like, especially when it came to them women. I wanted to set a perfect example that sometimes you do have to fall back.
Right, exactly.
You want me to be a savage to the point where I'm staying, I said what I said, I'm sticking to it. If somebody don't want to be called a cougar, if they say, you know, CJ, I don't like it when you call me a cougar. Guess what? CJ's not going to call you a cougar. If you don't want to be called a cougar,
that's great.
I'm not going to say it to you. Now, in my brain, you're still a cougar.
You're going to say it to me when the camera goes.
I'll say it to E. I might even say it to you while the camera's rolling. But while I'm talking to you, you will not be a cougar. You understand what I'm saying?
But I don't understand why they. Look, I just think, man, cougar, it should be celebrated. Cougars should be celebrated.
So you were edging that on, and you throw it, like I said, the titles, the different things that you do to try to get people mad at me. You got all these women up in an uproar talking about you, the messenger.
Oh no!
I'm just the messenger.
No.
And I'm pretty sure I can just imagine you, the women in your kitchen, hot with me, off of watching the show, and you over there like, yeah, y'all get them. Like, I'm pretty sure you didn't defend me.
You know what's crazy about that, though?
Did you defend me?
Listen, I was scared.
So you did.
Hold up, let me say this. To my defense, I was scared because I walked in and I thought, like, damn, did I do something? Because it was like, what just happened? And I was like, I didn't do anything, you know? So, you know, I blamed it on you, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I blamed it on you. Yeah, y'all should get CJ.
I'm sure you did,
Listen, Katie is waiting for you to come to my house because she's still talking about it.
I hear you, brother. Well, on another note, how was your day, man?
Oh, man.
Everything was good?
It was a long day, bro. It was a long day, man. And the rain and, it was just a long day. It's just a long day. It's like one of those days. It's a Thursday. I'm feeling great. I'm off tomorrow. So, yeah. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling wonderful. And I'm just happy to be here, bro.
No doubt, man. And shout out to everybody in the comment section. Shout out to my main man, LB, who hit me with that text again. Yo, that motivates me and drives me, brother. So I appreciate that, letting me know that you're going to be tuned in. And I also want to give a special shout out to my homie and co-worker, Dora Williams, who approached me last night and wanted to know why we didn't tag her or nothing. So, with that being said, Dora, you are definitely on our radar.
Yes,
anybody who's willing to support and help, like, we really appreciate that.
That's big, man. For someone to approach you on the job like that. I mean, but look, the discussion is all about the people. It's not just about CNE. It's about the people as well. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have a voice out there. And look, we are continuing to move forward, and it's getting better.
Shout out to Jamal Clark.
Yes, sir. What up, Jamal? What up, Jamal?
So, moving right along.
Yes, sir.
Today's topic is something that's very, would the word be sensitive? Or
Pressing.
Very pressing. That's going on in our communities right now.
Right.
That I personally feel like it deserves attention. The people that I've seen come out and speak on this openly, I have the utmost respect for them.
Man.
Because there was a time where if you openly talked about mental illness, you know, the general consensus was that, you know, he bugging or she's bugging.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Take it, go pray about it. You know what I mean? And you're left dealing with these different emotions and different things that you're going through.
Well said.
Alone.
That's well said.
And us as black people, you know, it's hard enough being black.
It is.
And the things that we have to endure in this country.
Fact.
And then on top of that, we have to carry the burden as well. To carry the burden of having to deal with a lot of these things by ourselves and not allow our fellow man to see us vulnerable.
Man. That's a tough one. And look, that's even tough for me because I've had my own experiences with this, with mental health. But I was raised to not seek help. I was, like you said, pray about it.
Right.
I was raised to say pray about it. And listen, I'm by no means am I saying praying is not effective or doesn't work. But there are those times where you need to sit down and talk to someone. You know, when you're emotional, when you're going through things, because I've been in a lot in my life.
Right.
So this gets me emotional. And listen, I was taught to not talk to anyone about it. I was taught to be a man. I was taught to hold it in. Bottle it up. Suck it up.
Right.
And P-Funk used to say that all the time. Suck it up. And I think there are those times where we may be, especially as people in the black community, where we may be overwhelmed with certain things.
Right.
It may be the way we was raised. It may be with violence against against your mother and father. You know what I mean? Domestic violence.
Right.
It could be a number of things. It could be from your teacher telling you that you're never going to be nothing. Why do you want to be a doctor? Why don't you go be a basketball player or something? It could be a number of things. But in our community, people need to know it's okay to talk to someone if you're feeling like you may be wanting to commit suicide, because these things are very real, not just in other communities. And we like to say, hey, these things just happen in the white community, but they don't. They happen in our community as well.
Absolutely.
You know, it's just a stigma. We don't need that stigma is on. And I'm anxious I just want to hear from someone that probably talked to someone, because I've never talked to no one about my mental health.
But like I said, you know, it's a very, you know, relevant topic because a lot of times we have to fix ourselves before we can fix anything else.
Man, that's true indeed.
So, you know, as a firm believer in that, the ones who actually take the stance to say, hey, look, I don't have all the answers. It might not always be Jesus is the answer. Why you can't have Jesus and a therapist at the same time?
You can. Why can't you have Jesus and a therapist that loves Jesus as well?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you.
So with that being said, before I bring on the guest who's going to build with us on this topic, if you are tuned in and if you like what you're hearing and you like what you're seeing, I encourage everybody to hit the share button.
Yeah.
We trying to grow this thing.
Right.
You know, our numbers kind of hit a bit of a standstill. So if you enjoy the content, and we know we got people who tune in every day, and if you're tuned in And if you rocking with us, man, please hit that share button.
Yeah, hit the like button. Subscribe.
Hit the share and the like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel,
Yeah.
Essential. So without further ado, man, let me see if I can get the brother on the line.
That's
So
big, man.
so we can start this build.
Right, because look, I would like people need to hear that there are people. Listen, the black it's very real in our community. We don't have to always try to hold it in and be strong. Talk to somebody.
Right.
Talk to your bro. Like if I really had something that was pressing my heart and I feel like I need to talk to, I may come talk to you about it.
Right.
Something like that. You know, because I trust you.
No doubt. Absolutely.
So,
Peace.
Peace, King.
yo, is that voice?
Yeah, man. What's going on, E?
Yo, what's happening there?
Hey,
Take it easy.
hey, voice, turn.
Yeah.
What would happen? Try to turn your camera sideways and see if you turn it to a full screen. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Yo, we're gonna talk about mental health, but on the physical health, I'm getting prepped for a colonoscopy tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay.
you know, it's one of them things you ain't really looking forward to it, but
Right.
you got to get it done.
Hey, look, let me ask you a question. By you saying that, my doctor just got on me about that because, look, as an adult, this is probably the first time on my own that I've went to have a physical. And she told me, she said, hey, you're at the age, you need to get a colonoscopy and all these things. And I was scared because in our community, you know, when we think about somebody doing that, I mean, I was afraid. I don't know how to take that.
Yo, I understand. I mean, I've had it done before, though. Like, I've had some issues before. You know, I had to get a colonoscopy. So,
Okay.
like I said, it's not like anything you're really looking forward to, but they put you to sleep. I mean, you don't realize anything going on. But what's the alternative? You know,
Right.
you got an issue, you got a health issue that could be rectified easily, and then, you know, like even with prostate cancer, right? Check it. It's so easily to cure. But men die from it, especially black men die from it often. Like, we ain't gotta go out like that. We don't survive shootouts, all types of things, and to go out like that would be ridiculous. So, you know, we gotta do better about all our health, mental and physical. You know?
Right. Absolutely, man.
Man.
So, you know, I guess with the start point on this conversation, I guess we can start with you recognize the problem that you know what I'm saying, whatever the issue was. What was it that motivated you to say, let me go talk to somebody else about it?
Basically, I got tired of hearing the same things from different people. Right? So, like, me being volatile at times, you know, and there's things I observe too. But, like, you know, it's one thing people get upset and get angry. It's another thing when you turn into, like, a hope, you know what I mean? And your whole countenance changed. Like, I can't see it, but other people have seen it and said it. Like, they didn't even know what they was witnessing. And the thing that I could put my finger on is, like, a situation could happen 10 times, right? And we get to number 8, everything is cool. Like, I went through this with you so many times, and then we get to number 8. For whatever reason, that day, I flipped, like, it hits a trigger. That's not healthy. It's not even normal. It shouldn't be normal.
Exactly.
And I just got tired of going through the same run. Like, something's going on with me. You know what I mean? Like, not saying I'm a horrible person, but I just want to get it right. And then I started looking at my family and how we interact at times. And I'm like, yo, we toxic as hell. Like, they don't want to admit it.
It's true.
We nuts, you know. The way we handle things, the way we communicate. I would even say communicate, because really we don't. Most of us don't even know how to communicate effectively. Like,
That's
the
great.
couples there, we've been learning that, like, how to really communicate. And I've said this to women, and you know, some of them get mad, but then when they think about it, they gotta realize this is validity what I'm saying. So they're quick to say, men, we don't communicate. I give you that. I give you that. We have an issue communicating. But they do as well. Like, it's the difference between communicating and complaining about something. Like, they know how to complain all damn day. Some of them, you know what I mean?
Right. But I think
that's not communicating. You just telling you don't like something. Communicating is you express your displeasure at a thing.
Exactly.
Explain why it makes you feel this way, and then let me know things that I could do to make it better. right? And then you give me a chance to explain my position in a situation, whether it was I didn't mean to, or I didn't know, whatever, however, and we work it out. That's communicating. Just coming in and saying you mad because I ain't take the trash out, you know, that's just you complaining.
Right,
you know
that's
what
a
I mean?
complaint.
Right, and that's kind of like with me and E. Like we've been joking about that whole thing, but it really is a serious issue.
It is.
You know, nobody wants to feel belittled or disrespected, and a lot of times it's not, you know, what some women say is how they saying it, how they speaking to you.
Right.
And
Yeah, I have an issue with that. You know, there's been times, and I'm not trying to air out like dirty laundry, but before we're having this conversation, it's the way somebody says something. So, you know, first thing I think is, like, I'm not your child. You know, you need, you know, adopt or get a dog or something, whatever.
Right.
right.
You know, and that's the thing with us as men, especially black men. Like, you don't like that.
Right.
You know, we don't like that. And if you got any type of backbone about yourself, you're not gonna let anybody talk to you in a way that makes you feel like
less than,
belittling you or make you feel inferior or
right.
you know, any or condescending or anything of that nature.
Exactly.
You're gonna pop off.
Yeah. See, I agree with what you're saying, and I do totally understand it, because no man wants to feel like he's being talked to, like he's being undermined, or feel as he's less than or unworthy. Because look, like you say, mental health is real, and we all, like, listen, the most profound thing that I heard you say was communication. A lot of times, black people, we just don't know how to communicate, especially with each other, right?
No, we don't.
So we need to learn to, like being able to sit down and express yourself and say, hey, look, this is what I have an issue with. This is what upsets me. This is how I see it. Now, I don't know how you see it, but if this is going this way, I think that we could do it this, and you give the other person a chance to do the same, right? You afford them that same opportunity, and then you come to a medium and try to work that out. So, like, even with relationships, that's why I tell black people, when they're in relationships with their significant other, in the beginning, you have to have ground rules. Like, I'm gonna just give you my instance. For Sprint, my wife knows that I demand respect. She demands respect as well, right? But at the end of the day, we have to make sure that we don't go overboard and we don't overtalk each other and listen to each other, because that's the only way it works. Even with black men, like, I'm telling you, my fear of going to the doctor and getting a checkup and to speaking to someone, because listen, I've never said this before, and I'm gonna say it on air. I've even had that time where I even tried suicide. You know what I'm saying? And had no one to talk to. And my mom and my family was like, hey, are you crazy? But at this time, they didn't understand what I was going through.
That's the part. Like, it's too much association with, oh, he's crazy. No, you're not crazy.
Right.
Like, it's despair. You know what I mean? Like, you get tired. Like, you know, your soul get tired. You know what I mean? Like, you just, and you don't see a way out. And you don't even know, you don't even know why you feel how you feel.
And that's crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And as somebody who's because I was somebody that would point that out to a person, and I've learned to get better with that. Not to say they crazy, but when it came to men, I was bad with telling people, like, man up, because that's what was expressed to me. So when I saw people being, you know, what I consider sensitive, complaining, wearing their emotions on their sleeve all the time, I was somebody who would be like, yo, man, knock it off, yo, man up. So that is something that I'm learning to check within myself, that I don't know what people going through. And that could be them looking for attention. Like, you know, don't have a proper outlet to express whatever it is they're dealing with. You know what I mean? So I've grown to be a little bit more sensitive towards men, especially. Because I used to look at that as kind of like, yo, that's female. That's a female.
But yo, we all did it. But you know why? We were cursed when we were children.
Right, exactly.
Let me explain why. Let me explain why I say that. So like think back when some of your youngest memories, when we boys, like we all boys, we running around, tussling, doing whatever.
Right.
You fell down, you hurt yourself, whether it was you skinned your knee, whatever happened, that hurt you, and you cried, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the first thing they said? Stop crying.
Boy, you alright.
You'll be a man,
Right.
right?
Right.
Something along those lines,
Right.
right?
Right.
So now we equate feeling emotion to show hurt or pain is not being manly.
That is.
Yo, they screwed us from the beginning.
We can't
Not
see.
intentionally.
See,
Not intentionally.
right.
But that made us emotionally retarded since we were children.
And we're bottling all of these emotions up, right? So we're bottling these emotions up. We're holding them inside. And the moment something happens that we dislike or we just have feel some type of way about, we explode. And that's,
The only tools we had that we grew up in our emotional toolbox was anger and love, like or love. That's it. We didn't have anything in between.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So all we had was like a hammer and a chisel. We didn't have the range, like the whole gambit of emotions, you know, that we felt comfortable with. To
Right.
be able to say, you could tell somebody I'm pissed off, right?
Right.
That was no problem.
right.
You could tell somebody you love, like, you know, your lady, I love you. You could tell your homie. Well, you know, when it took us older, you know, when we were younger, what was the thing? No homo, like, yeah, say no homo or pause or something like that. Anyway, we get older, we become more comfortable with that.
Right.
But to say, hey, yo, see, man, I don't know, man, I'm just sad today, bro. You couldn't do that.
Right.
I don't feel quite right with that. You know what I'm saying? Or to say to your friend, your man, yo, bro, when you said such and such and such, that hurt my feelings.
Right.
No doubt.
But see, we need to be able to express these things to each other. Because look, let me tell you something, voice. Out of everything, and right now today, being sitting here with CJ, and if I know I can come to him with that, like right now, as a child, I couldn't. I could come to CJ and say, hey, look, I'm not feeling it today. I'm not feeling good, man. I'm down today. And he'll genuinely say, hey, bro, what's wrong? And I'm like, man, I don't know. Because I generally don't know. I've been through so much in my life. I just don't know. I really don't. And I'm not lying. This is just something, and I'm speaking from my heart, because this is something that the stigma in our community, that we can't talk to anyone and that we can't seek counseling. About how certain things when we was raised, because look, we had it pretty rough coming up. You already have a knock being a black guy. Being a black man is a knock against you. That's your first knock. So we have to overwork and overcompensate, and that frustrates us. And we don't know how to deal with that. We don't know who, listen, because this is me personally. I don't like to talk to everyone because at the end of the day, I don't even know this person. And that's how I see it. I don't know this person or trust this person or know what they will really do with the information that is going on in my head. I don't know. I don't know who they would tell or how they would express it or how they would feel about it, because once I was told, when I did talk to someone, that you just got a bunch of drama in your life that you just need, you know what I mean? And that may have been true, but it was still things that I was dealing with, because like I said, I've actually tried to commit suicide.
Yeah, but you know what? This is where I'm at personally. So we're talking about this. Like, I'm actively now looking for a black male psychiatrist. Like, I've had a therapist, but I want to see a psychiatrist to go a little bit deeper, and it's in the realm of possibility. I may need medication, like straight up. You know, I may be out of balance. I had, and my fiance said something that I never thought about before, which was I got hit by a car when I was 7, and I hit the back of my head. I had to get stitches, right? So I had a blow, like a major blow to the head when I was young. I could have threw something off, for real. Like, right. But you got to think back in the, so you talking about 80, 81? Nobody knew about head trauma like that to think, well, right, check them out to see if there's some damage, some neurological damage, and this and that. Right. It was this, oh, he alive, his head ain't broke, he ain't cracked his skull, stitch him up, send him on his way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that could be CTE or anything. Like, you know what I mean?
Man.
Yeah, so And for people out there watching, when I say that, like, you know, they're like, damn, you need medicines. I might.
Right.
I
See, that goes back to, and it's good that you brought that up with you being a youth and going through that, because you know, once again, racial barriers get exposed even when you're talking about mental health, because you have young black kids that's going through that, and it's considered disruptive behavior.
Ooh,
You know what I mean? Whereas a white kid displaying the same behaviors,
it's a cry for help.
It's a cry for help. You know what I mean?
that is well said.
Yeah.
So, you know, this thing runs very deep in the black
does.
community.
It does.
And there's so many different ways that we can break this down. But another thing that you just talked about that's very important too is there isn't enough of quote unquote black psychiatrists that really understand.
Male, yeah, especially male.
That can, matter of fact, Taraji Henson,
Yeah.
she started a charity just for that, because her son was going through that, and she was saying that how difficult it was for her to find. Matter of fact, she said it was like looking for a purple unicorn,
Man.
to find a black psychiatrist to help with her son.
And that's crazy because that black psychiatrist probably is the only one that can understand your plight or what you've been through. But look, let me ask you this, Voice. If you ever talked to someone, how was that experience if you ever talked to someone about like your actual mental health?
Actually, it was good for me. I mean, it helped out a lot. I put it like this: going through that, both as an individual and then doing couples therapy, it allowed me to like look at myself introspectively a lot more. Like, you know, I'm pretty self-aware anyway, but I would sit back and there's certain situations that I've been in and where I had a disagreement or a rift or contention with someone, and could sit back and just like look inside myself to figure out where it came from. Like, what triggered me to feel this way? And then like, oh shit, I wasn't mad about that. I was upset about this.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna give y'all a short story about this that happened a couple years ago. Y'all both may know Cayenne Shepherd. But that's big bro to me, right? So there was a thing where I'm feeling away, right? Like, I got this hurt. I didn't know it was hurt at the time. It was anger. I'm mad. And something happened, and Sherry made a post, and he commented on the post, but I'm like, yo, he commented on her post. He don't even say nothing to me on social media no more. I felt the way. So somehow somebody came in and kind of mediated the thing, like, y'all need to talk about what's going on. Both stubborn at first, kind of like, nah, we all right, we don't talk about nothing. Then it's like, okay. By the time we actually get a chance to converse about it, I had been thinking, like, what really made me mad?
Right.
And I wasn't mad, I was hurt. But I don't know how to express that I'm hurt, so it comes off as anger, right? That's the tool that I had. I didn't have a metric wrench. I didn't have an Allen wrench. I just had a hammer, right? By the time we get to talk about it, I realized what I felt was hurt because it seemed like he abandoned me, like he turned his back. Someone that I look up to and respect and revere seemed like they turned their back on me, which took me back to childhood things like my father abandoning me, my father not being there, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I agree.
And so when I tell him that, he didn't even know what to say. Like, you know, he's like, I know you can't be lying. Like, nobody, I've never heard somebody say, like, come like this before.
Right.
So it made me be more introspective, and to the point where I'm like, issues that I don't know why I do what I do. I need to go deeper.
And see, look, and a lot of times as black men, I like to tell people, look, as a black man, it starts from your childhood, right? Because we have these traumatic experiences that we see things that we maybe shouldn't see. We hear things that we maybe shouldn't hear because of the environment that we are in, that most white children don't get to experience as children. We're a little tougher. We're a little...
Nah, they do. Let me say.
I'm not saying like
please, please don't forget where you was at, real quick, please.
Okay.
So, in the last 6 months, talking to white folks, bro, they just as jacked up as we are. I'm trying to
Listen,
tell
I agree with that. I agree, but I'm just saying as far as some of the experiences, like we experiences as far as, I know they have like the domestic disputes, this and the third, but you got to think everyday crime in our community is way more, I don't even know the word to say for it.
Yeah.
And it's
In the
way
city,
more
yeah,
tough.
you're gonna
And
get that.
listen, I don't know a lot of white kids that walk to school and have to walk through the hallway and step on crack valves every morning to get to school.
But that's a testament.
I mean, but I'm just.
But that's a testament to our strength because they commit suicide, well, historically, at much higher rates than we do.
Yeah.
Even though that is starting to change, and it's mainly due to, we living in a more sensitive time.
We are.
And the generation after us, they are way more sensitive to certain things than we were. So you are starting to see, more black children committing suicide.
Right. And that's unfortunate, man.
Very unfortunate.
I think that, look, man, we all have to work together. And look, Voice, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I've had some struggles. We all have struggles, and you know your struggles. And they're basically about the same. It's no difference because when you look at folks, our struggles, we are dealing with the same issue from childhood, and that frustrates us. Like you said, look, hold up. You said,
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
Listen.
The thing that separates us is those of us, like, it goes through stages. You got denial, or let's say you got ignorance. You don't even,
Right.
There's nowhere in the realm of your thinking that anything about mental health. So there's the straight ignorance.
Right.
Then there's denial, like, ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm straight.
Right.
Then there's, maybe I might need to see one, see somebody. Then is when you finally get the commitment for whatever reason, whatever makes it happen, that you actually go to get help and you continue to go down that path. Right? And I'll say this to anybody that's contemplating it. If you go to a therapist and it ain't gelling right, cancel that one, find you another one. You gotta find the one that works for you. Right? So I can't see me talking to a white woman about me personally.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying. I agree with that.
A white man neither.
They're not gonna understand
a black
it.
woman, okay, a black man is my preference.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I'm like, he can identify with me in ways that they can't.
And then he can extend a hand, not even just gratitude, but extend a lending hand to help you because he understands you as a black man. He understands like what your home was like. Even, now listen, this is the crazy thing, even if he didn't go through it in his home as a black man, he still understands it.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, without getting too deep with this, man, how do you feel? Well, I'm not gonna say how do you feel, but jokingly earlier, I was talking about Jesus, right?
Oh yeah.
And how black people and the church, in a lot of ways, the church was your
Refuge
for your mental illness. And as somebody who's dealing with that, not me personally, well, I may be, but I just haven't seen the therapist yet.
Right.
But my mother started going through some things at a later age where I had to deal with the different aspects and facets of the mental health field and different, knowing the policies and the, you know what I'm saying, and all these different things.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to me that, because my mother was a gospel singer, heavily into the church and all of that, and it was obvious that there was a deeper issue, but it was all of these people who felt like Jesus was the answer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And without, I don't want this to come off like I'm disrespecting the church.
No.
Because I'm not.
I mean,
but it was.
I smile because you know me and what.
You know how we build. You know what I'm saying?
But on that though, seriously, with no joke, no malice at all. I've had this stance for a while now, and I've talked to some ministers, and they're starting to advocate for mental health.
That is wonderful, bro.
Within the congregation as well. So
Right.
here's the thing. So if anybody's watching this, if you're Christian, Muslim, Jew, it's relevant, right? But here's the thing. You believe in a higher power within your belief system. You know, Jesus is your savior. Fine, I'm not arguing that. That's not where I'm going.
Right. Absolutely.
Jesus gave man the ability, the intelligence to start to understand the human mind, right? Why wouldn't you utilize that? They say
Right.
faith without works is dead. So you can have all the faith in Jesus that you want, but if you don't do the work to go get yourself some help, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Right.
You're doing nothing.
Now, when it comes to the clergy, and again, no disrespect to any clergy, the clergy knows the Bible. I would hope.
We will hope.
And I had to throw that in there because I know some that don't know. I know more than they do. Anyway,
Facts.
the clergy knows the Bible. The clergy doesn't know psychology.
I agree.
So they can't give you an understanding of what's going on in your mind.
Right.
They can tell you to go read Psalms chapter this, that, and the third. Come to Bible study on Wednesday. We'll anoint you with some oil. We're gonna pray and
Right.
everything, and send you on your way. Because that's all they know how to do. But
Right.
that's not getting rid of that voice in your head.
I agree. That is well said. I need to sit down and talk with this guy because look, what you said is very important. And listen, I'll be the first to tell you, and I believe in Jesus. Prayer is everything. But at the end of the day, when it comes to my mental health, I would love to sit down and speak with someone that's actually that I can identify with, that can say, hey bro, I know what you're going through. This can be okay. I mean, this is not beyond repair. Right? This is what,
Right.
because look, a lot of times you got people misdiagnosing us because they don't know how we were raised or what we've been through. Or they just insensitive, right? ADHD, they call it, whatever they call it. But what I'm saying is this, it may be a true thing called ADHD, and it may be some form, but when I say mental health, I think about, like you said, that voice in your head that like, hey, what am I going to do right now? At this moment,
Yeah, like why you mad first thing in the morning?
why you mad? Sometimes, like you say, we don't know.
So people, if everybody who's tuned in, you can have Jesus and therapy too.
Yes.
You can have both. It's okay
Yes.
to talk to somebody about you can have Jesus
That's absolutely.
and you can have a psychiatrist. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I think
a
that-
mental health therapist.
Hey, look, I think
Like,
CJ got
Sherry just
a
said,
degree in
amen.
theology or something.
You said what?
I think CJ must have went to school for theology this week or something in the
Absolutely.
last 2 days.
Absolutely.
Because look, you listen, what you're saying is not off. And if someone is upset with that, I mean, I don't see, it's okay to have Jesus and someone to talk to.
And like I said, I wasn't disrespecting the people.
I agree.
With that, you know, in the situation with my mother, they were doing what they thought was right. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I knew that there needed to be some other form of help, per se. It just couldn't be Jesus. There was a deeper issue. And sometimes with religion, and I'm just not, picking on Christianity, sometimes if you're having mental health issues and you start, going into the realm of the spiritual realm, sometimes those results aren't good. Especially when you already paranoid, you already, you may be schizophrenic or whatever the case may be, and you're tapping into the spiritual realm.
That's not good. I don't think that's good.
So,
Like even if you're Muslim, you study Islam, right? And you're doing your surahs not your surahs, but you're doing your salat, right?
Right.
And then you start thinking you seeing jinns.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Satan, like you said, it's a dangerous. Without proper balance, it could be very dangerous.
It
You know what
can
I
be.
mean?
And listen, black men need to know, and listen, let me say this. For everybody out there watching, and the people that's going to end up watching this video, in our community, mental health is very real. I've experienced it. I've had my own issues, and still, I have never talked to anyone about it. And maybe that's a problem for me. right? So what I'm saying is it's very real. Protect your mind and protect your heart. It's okay to talk to someone.
And that's what mental health is. You know, there's a difference between
But
mental health
talk
and
to
mental
someone
illness.
that has the understanding of.
Right.
Like,
I agree.
Cause don't get me wrong. If one of y'all would have hit me and like, your voice, yo man, I need to talk. Oh, I'm gonna talk.
Right.
Like, I don't leave no man behind.
Right.
If I can't get back to you right then, I'll tell you, okay, look, I'm at work, bro. I get off at such and such time. Give me time to get home. I'm gonna call you. I'm going to call. Like, you gonna get that phone call. Depending on the depth of what you telling me and the despair and how distraught you are, I'm going to advise you to talk to a professional. If you don't have an idea on how to navigate that, I will get you the information.
Man,
Right?
that's big.
And I've done that for a lot of, when I say a lot, at least 15 people in the last few years, right? No names, but between sharing, we have found them where they live at. Oh, you don't have insurance like that? Don't matter. We'll find someone that got a pay scale that you could go and get help, right?
Right.
We're gonna find somebody in your city where you live that can help you.
Right. Right.
But just telling me, it helps get it off your chest. But I don't have the tools, I don't have the skill set to really help you get through.
Get through it, right.
But I can help you find somebody that can. You know what I'm saying? And I'm willing to do that. You know. But it's important.
So-
And if you want to talk to somebody, man, I'll share with you a list of the black male psychiatrists that I'm going through now. You might find one that you might feel comfortable with and want to set up an appointment and a session.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And if you could, you know what I'm saying, like being we're on that topic, and I certainly feel like we all need to start advocating more for that. And that was one of the reasons, like, voice, me and you, we build anyway. We got each other numbers, we talk. But at the same time, I'm watching you without, you know what I'm saying, just being totally transparent, throwing that out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm dealing with these issues. I'm working on it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever information you had, you was willing to share it. And that's one reason why I wanted you to come on today and kind of build on that. But it's also something that we all need to start doing. We all need to be advocating more for the mental, you know what I'm saying, and that, you know, mental health in the not just the black community, all people, if you're dealing with mental health issues, to seek help and be a crutch for a lot of
people. You know why I did it? You know why I did it? Two reasons. One, I knew I got some people close to me that, for whatever reason, knew something wasn't right. Like, was like in the process trying to make a trip to come see me, like to put eyes on me. You know what I'm saying? I had like 3 people tell me that, like, yo, I was gonna come. Until I made the post, they were like, I was coming to Greensboro to put eyes on you. Like, we talked, but I needed to see you to make sure you was okay, right? That's one thing. The other thing was, I feel like I'm going through this and I feel this way. It's somebody else out there that feel the same way.
Yeah.
Somebody else is going through it, right? I wanted them to know they weren't alone.
No doubt.
And it's okay.
Man,
right?
that is dope, man.
And I commend you and E. And E's over here, he's saying a lot of things too. That, and I'm close to this man. We see each other 3 or 4 times a week. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The show not included. Like, that's my brother.
Right.
And he's expressing things right here on the podcast that I wasn't even aware of. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And look, it's not that because I didn't want to tell you. It just wasn't the right time.
Right.
I mean, now is the time because, look, we need each other. I mean, look, I need you. And I don't know if you need me, but I need you. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, listen, I don't have a lot of friends. I don't talk to a lot of people. I'm comforted when I'm here with you. I know that what I say with you or what I do around you is protected and it's listen, I know that I can come to you and tell you anything and I don't have to worry about getting out. If I want to talk to you about something, you're not going to go and talk to Voice or anybody else. If I want to talk to Voice about something, he's not going to go and talk to you or anybody else. I feel comforted. I want to feel comforted that if I had a really bad moment or situation where I really needed to talk with someone, because I don't know how my frustration is going to play out at this moment. I need to know that I got a couple of bros that I can reach out to and say, hey man, I need you. I know you may be at work, but like I'm going through a real tough time. Can you give me 5 minutes? Just tell me something. And look, I don't hold things back. I don't mind telling
Well, you know
people
what though?
about my life.
We can make history today. Like if you keep talking, and if I start crying, we will.
That's what I was about to say.
We'll make history.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
We'll make history.
Don't do that. We're not gonna do that one now.
Right now.
And it'll be
But we
real,
can.
It'll be real tears.
But we can because look,
Oprah
this conversation that we're having is very real. This is not a conversation that it's not like it's hidden in our community. We know it exists. We just don't know how to address it.
For sure.
We don't know
All
who
I'm
to talk
saying is
to.
that I ain't trying to be funny. I ain't trying to make it, well, kind of lighten it a little bit, but I want us to stay where we at. If CJ had them shades on, we would have seen water welling up in his eyes right now. Somebody looked away. When he turned his head
Hey,
to the
look,
side, he was fighting hard right there, man.
We needed that laugh.
Hey man.
We needed that laugh.
Hey, gotta talk about it, man. But see, the thing is, because I'm such a man, the world will never know.
See, and this is what we and listen, I get what he's saying because a lot of times, a lot of us don't like to feel like that because that's our vulnerability that we're playing with. I don't want nobody to know
You know,
I'm
I got all that's what I'm saying. Like I put on the glasses because half the time I be dead to the world coming up in here. But if I was getting ready to start to ball,
right.
my hood's still in check, man.
Hey, look, I don't know if you start balling out right now. I don't care what this show is about. They gonna get you, bro.
Hey, man.